Welcome to the 5th episode of Loosely Canon, where the lore is kinda optional. My name is Grimz, and I'm here with Eclipse.
Hello.
Today we're breaking down Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr, where chaos taints and nobody expects the Imperial Inquisition.
This is going to be an interesting one, because I kind of know Warhammer stuff. So I'm not going in completely blind like we usually are with these.
You knew a little bit about Destiny.
Yeah, but not really. I knew there was a blue dude, and I knew there was some guy who was played by Lance Reddick. And that was about as far as I got. And then past that, I just kind of stopped playing.
Alright, so, in this game, you are an Inquisitor, and you are aboard a rogue trader ship, and they are working for you. So, for those who are watching, an Inquisitor in 40k is like this high authority position in the Imperium, and they can pretty much do almost anything they please. Sort of. And then
Within reason.
yeah. And then a rogue trader in 40k is a basically noble person who was granted the warrant of trade, which allows them to travel basically freely across the galaxy and just buy and sell goods as they please. Hopefully they don't, pick up some chaos heretical things, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah,
So
rogue traders are interesting.
yeah. So because this is a RPG kind of game, you got classes. So you got a Crusader, an Assassin, Tech Adept, a Sister of Battle, a Hierophant, and a Psyker. Crusader, just kind of your basic beat shit up, heavy armored kind of dude. Assassin, you can probably guess.
Filthy.
Tech Adept, they're basically just like a mechanical kind of person who can control some machines. Sister of Battle, basically a Crusader but female. The Hierophant is a newer class that they added recently, and it allows you to kind of control a retinue of people. Kind of interesting. And then there's the Psyker, which, basic like RPG magic bullshit.
The squishy wizard of the party.
Yeah. Alright, so let's get into the actual story. So, you're aboard this rogue trader ship, and you come across an ancient Inquisitor distress signal, and that leads you to this ship called the Martyr. So, we decide, alright, we should probably investigate. We take a little shuttle, we crash land onto the ship because we were being fired upon by the Martyr, and the shuttle gets destroyed. We're the only survivor. So then we have to find a way off the Martyr, and we come across Caius Thorn, a space marine of the Stormwatchers chapter, which guards this sector of space. And I have a picture of Caius. So, this is Caius, right? Oh, wait. I mean...
Huh. Looks kind of different.
Close enough. Does kind of have a ghoulish kind of face.
Yeah, he's a little less scarred in the first picture you sent me.
Isn't that fucking,
Bro,
Karen
I think, from New Vegas.
I thought it was Karen from, Fallout 3.
I don't know. I don't think I ever got Karen as a follower. But I did get Raoul. And then I dropped Raoul when I started talking about going with the Legion. I was like, fuck that shit. Stay away from me.
So, Caius, he talks about this other Inquisitor that he was actually a part of the retinue for, called Klosterheim. And it kind of confuses the idea that we might be a part of that group as well. And so, and then we have to find a way to access the teleporter array on the Martyr so that we can get the fuck off the ship if we want to.
Sounds like a good idea.
And along the way, we come across a Hellbrute. And those are, just wonderful little creatures.
Little?
Yeah, just wonderful little creatures. There's, chaos dreadnoughts, nothing too big about them.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
They're friendly little guys.
Not the phrase I'd use, but sure, if that's what we're going with.
And Caius, like a maniac, he decides, hey, I'm going to try and solo that thing. And
hey, watch this drive.
And he gets gravely injured. And somehow, because we're a main character and we have main character plot armor, we beat it solo. And so we teleport off the Martyr along with Caius's body, and so we're back on the rogue trader ship. The Martyr, it does a warp jump seemingly on its own, and so because Caius is gravely injured, we have to find what's called a Magos Biologus, which is a tech priest that specializes in the flesh, basically. Because most tech priests, they just focus on machines. And here's a tech priest.
Yeah, that's actually not that far off.
Put a lot of effort into it.
You look like he's about to yell at me to repair the Baleful Edict.
So we end up having to search through like 3 different planets to find the Magos, and once we do, we bring him back to our ship, and she heals Caius for the most part as best as she could for the time being. And Caius, he starts to talk a little bit more about Klosterheim, and this is where he mentions to us that he is a storm watcher and that they're a mostly secretive chapter that if you've heard of them, you probably are within the space, the storm watchers, or you are one of the people that's in charge of this sector of space. And so then we realized we should probably find a way back to the Martyr, and we get informed about another tech priest who might be able to help. So we search for him across multiple places again. We eventually find him, and he mentions a way to find the Martyr called the Uther's Tarot. It's like this special tarot deck that kind of helps give you visions of what you are looking for. And there's an actual, like, I don't know how canon this game is, if I'm being honest. There's an actual in-canon thing called the Emperor's Tarot. And it operates similarly, but a little more powerful. So the reason this is called Uther's Tarot is because it was created by Uther Tiberius, who was a Inquisitor like thousands of years ago and was actually the leader of the Martyr. So then we find the tarot in a Archaeotech vault, which is basically a secret AdMech vault. And we use it, and we get visions of like something happening on the Martyr, and that helps us know where the Martyr now is. And one of the tech priests on our rogue trader ship, they mentioned something about how Klosterheim's mentor was of interest to the Grey Knights, which, to any watchers or listeners, if you whatever the fuck you're doing, the Grey Knights.
Because I just perked up like a motherfucker.
The Grey Knights are a very secretive chapter, and they are this powerful group of Space Marines that will go after any sort of like demonic presence, anything kind of just threatening the Imperium, basically.
They're also almost all psychers.
And very
which is
powerful.
fun when mixed, and very powerful, which is a real fun combination when mixed with a fucking Space Marine. Oh, I love them.
So knowing that, it's like, oh shit, what the fuck did Klosterheim's mentor do?
Yeah.
So anyways, we return to the Martyr, and we find evidence of word bearers, who are a traitor legion. And let's see here, we got you know, a word bearer. Oh wait, that's a word bearer. Ah shit.
The Paddington without his fucking hat.
That's a word bearer.
Nah, I like the first one better.
And they seem to want something that is trapped on the Martyr. We're not quite sure what yet.
Probably my dignity.
What dignity?
Yeah. Well, it's trapped on the Martyr.
So we eventually meet up with Klosterheim and start working with him to uncover what Uther's controversial work was, which we learn was making a blank that can absorb and use warp energy, and they are known as a pariah. And a blank is a human that has a mutation where they do not possess any amount of psychic potential, and they do not even have a presence in the warp, which most people, they have a presence in the warp. And most of the time, anyone around them, they get kind of an uneasy feeling. So, and then we also learn that Uther tried to make a army of demon hosts, which
that's not a good thing.
But it is also revealed that he was trying to use them for the Imperium. Still not great. And then Uther, Klosterheim, he drops this bombshell on us. We were actually his mentor. And we mind wiped ourselves at some point, and Klosterheim is like, you no longer seem as you once were, but I kind of hope that you still are, because you trained me in a certain way. So, turns out, we're the ones that the Grey Knights were interested in.
Whoopsie doodle. We may want to apologize fast, because those fuckers hurt.
In order to remove ourselves from their interest, we mind wiped ourselves, basically, in a way, creating our own death, because we are no longer who we were. And therefore, they think of us to be basically dead.
Huh. That's one way to do it, I guess.
So after all this interaction with Clausen, we it's kind of like, he definitely seems more of like a radical Inquisitor rather than a Puritan.
Mhm.
And so obviously I was a little suspicious of him. But we continue to investigate into Uther with him, and we end up confronting a Wordbearer sorcerer and Hellbrute who tried to talk us away from the Pariah. And we learn the Pariah can destroy demons, not just banish them, completely destroy them. So they can't even come back, which they normally do in 40k. So powerful weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, very powerful weapon. Yeah, the whole thing about the demons is that they can't fully be destroyed. They keep coming back.
Yeah.
And that's why shit like the Grey Knights exist, to hunt them down over and over again. And other legions obviously do their fair share too, but the Grey Knights are like specifically there to deal with the demons.
Yeah. And so come across some more information where it's revealed to us that Uther, he actually questioned his work, and he was like, shit, should I really be doing this? Well, I guess I've already done it. I can only hope that it's used for good. Also, I forgot to do this picture at the fucking beginning because I'm just on top of it. This is the Martyr. Listen, I wasn't gonna show fucking shit tons of detail.
Yeah, Warhammer ships are kind of like overly detailed.
Yeah, they really are.
They kind of follow the philosophy of why have just a few really good guns when you could just have a lot of guns.
So, after we learn about the Luther questioning's work, we go through the ship some more, and we fight through a force of word bearers, and including the sorcerer from earlier, because when we last encountered him, he teleported out. And there's also this like walker kind of enemy that they have called a decimator. I probably should have grabbed a picture of it because it's like a dreadnought, but not, and it's just a bitch to deal with in the game. So we find out that the captain of our ship is the descendant of the captain of the Martyr. Just all around, apparently, a small world, because we had Uther's Tarot, who we find out Uther Tiberius is the leader of the Martyr, and then we have our captain, the captain of our ship, being the descendant of the captain of the Martyr. You gotta think, 40k takes place across the entire galaxy. So,
Yeah, and you mean to tell me we're all an equivocal stone's throw from each other?
kind of interesting. But, so we find out that the captain of the Martyr, he abandoned the Martyr once everything started going to shit, and saved some of Uther's acolytes and brought them to a station that his family used. And we come across the room where the pariah is being kept, and we realize that in order to get in, we need Uther's rosette. And a rosette is like their Inquisitor seal, and each one is specific to each Inquisitor. And you'll recognize what a rosette is, because it's the typical Inquisitor symbol. So, you know.
Yeah. What does the I stand for, I wonder?
I don't know. Maybe, Inception.
Inept? Oh, Inception. Yeah, you're probably right.
And we face this choice because the game periodically will give you a choice of choosing a radical or Puritan choice, and it's over the usage of the pariah. So it's like the choices are: do we use the pariah for the Imperium, or do we just kill her? Obviously, I chose radical because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
So we find out our okay, first off, we confront our captain about her ancestor, and she is completely unaware that he was the captain of the Martyr. And so she points out that her family has a logbook that has like all the information about her family's past, and it should be where he probably brought Uther's acolytes. So we go there. We find out that the harbor master there was chaos tainted, and so we had to kill him. There's a cogitator, which is basically an information array kind of thing. And it tells us info about a man named Grexus. And we find him after dealing with all the chaos there. And he points us in the direction of the logbook. And so then we come across the ship that carried the logbook, and it's led by cultists, of course. So we capture the cultist leader, interrogate him, and we find out the word bearer sorcerer is behind this because he keeps just getting away from us. So we go kill him, get the logbook. You know, just simple things. Just killing a word bearer sorcerer. And,
Did those cards tell you that? Really?
You could say so.
our captain opens the logbook because only DNA related to the family can open it. And she reads through it and brings the ship, her ship, to where Uther Tiberius was brought. And we get another choice of radical or Puritan, where we can choose to absolve the family, because the reason we are commandeering her ship is she is basically trying to do penance for heretical things her family did. So we can absolve her family or condemn the family. And I choose radical, of course, again, which is absolving the family. So then we go to Uther's tomb, which we notice has been raided in the past by Inquisitor teams. And we also find out they had taken his remains. And we get a different Inquisitor team confronting us. And they tell us they were told to guard the tomb by Inquisitor Flavius Draken. So we hunt for Draken, and we end up at this world where a battle is going on between Imperial Guard and Chaos Forces. And we get to take control of a thing called a Shadow Sword tank. It's a big boy tank. Maybe
Shadow sword or shatter sword?
Shadow.
Shadow.
So it looks maybe something like that. You know, definitely not a German prototype concept
Yeah,
tank.
that really is. Hang on, let me just bring up my fucking.
Maybe something more like that.
Bro, that top one's like, oh, I'm trying to see stuff from far away. Like, what the fuck is that say?
So we control
How
a
many
tank.
turrets do you need on a tank?
Yes.
It has. Hang on. It has 2 fucking bolters strapped to the front. A big ass turret that doesn't rotate all the way because there's small turrets in the way.
Oh,
And
that
then
turret doesn't
underneath.
rotate at all.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh, cool. It's fixed position.
Yes.
But then it has mini fucking turrets that both have their own set of fucking coax guns.
Yeah. Welcome to Warhammer.
How many armaments do you need?
Like the orcs would say,
Jesus.
more DACA.
More dock indeed. And I feel like it's got like at least 6 bolters. It's like, holy fuck, man.
So we take the tank through the battlefield. We go to the last known location of Draken, and he isn't there. But we enter this fortress and we save some guard, and we also save this free blade pilot. And a free blade is a Imperial Knight that doesn't belong to any particular knight house. That's cool because then we basically gain a new ally. And
The free use knight.
don't say free use in this economy, man.
I regretted it the second I opened my fucking mouth. It's like, why would I say that?
So we talk to some of the survivors, and they say that Draken is keeping Chaos busy at his personal fortress. So this next level is kind of interesting because we control the knight, but it isn't actually us. We're actually controlling the Freeblade pilot. So it's kind of weird because you end up controlling someone who isn't your character. But anyway, you clear a way to Draken's personal fortress, and then we come back to ourselves and we fight through his fortress to Draken. Draken shows us where Uther's remains are, and we get another little decision point where we can either kill Draken or let him live, because his actions were very, he kind of sent the team to fight another Inquisitor. So, but the radical option was letting him live, unfortunately. Sometimes you just want to kill people, but if you're sticking with radical, you just gotta let him live, I guess. So, the location that Draken sent us is a moon that isn't on Imperial charts, and on that moon is a cathedral. So we explore through this cathedral, find out it's overrun by chaos, and we find this priest in there. He's the only survivor, and so we talk to him about, hey, where might be Uther's remains? He tells us, but in the process of telling us, the wonderful Black Legion show up and threaten to destroy the cathedral. And they severely damage it, and we find out through through one of the Black Legion guys that the Conclave, which is the people that rule the sector of space, the man in charge of the Conclave, who authorized our investigation, turns out he's under suspicion of accusations. And yeah, so that's not great. And we get another Inquisitor who ends up blocking us because they know that the Conclave dude is not good. And so we kind of have to kill an Inquisitor. Oh well. Shit happens all the time in 40k.
Fucking, drop in the bucket, really.
And eventually we acquire Uther's Rosette. And so we go back to the Martyr. We find out that Nurgle forces are invading the Martyr. Love Nurgle.
Oh. Bad.
What's wrong with the little pestilence?
Gee, I wonder. Let's ask Black Plague era Europe real quick.
And we actually find out that they are breaking all the seals that keep away demons on the Martyr. And so the Martyr is at risk of becoming an entire ship-sized demon engine. Not the greatest thing. So we have to work quickly to get to the chamber where the pariah is. And we get word from a Nurgle force called the Prophet of Decay. And he has captured Klosterheim. So we go kill the Prophet of Decay and save Klosterheim. Then we go to the chamber, open it up. Uh-oh. That also released this big demon presence that the Prophet had warned us about at some point. I forgot to mention that. We're just gonna glance past that. So, uh-oh. Big demon presence also got released. And that's where we get a wonderful thing called the Great Unclean One. And here's where the inside joke comes into play.
Oh.
Great Unclean One.
Oh my god.
So, this is like one hell of a boss fight. Like, it fucking
Yeah,
sucks.
they're kind of threats.
Like, this is the most annoying boss fight in the entire fucking game. And it lasts, like, 5 to 10 minutes. Whereas a normal boss fight lasts probably a minute at most in this game. So, eventually we kill it. And the pariah comes along and completely destroys him. Just no more. Because, you know, she has that power to destroy demons. So he'll never be back. Rest in peace, Great Unclean One.
Preferably don't.
Or, rest in pestilence. Anyways, after that, we're making our way out of the area, and Klosterheim sort of blocks us off from the pariah and, in a sense, kidnaps her for protection. Definitely not to use her as a weapon. And then we escape back to the rogue trader ship, and the Martyr goes warp travel once again. And that is where this story ends. There is an expansion. It's very short from what I've heard. So that is Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. Any questions?
No.
Comments, concerns, applesauce?
Bro, I wish I had some fucking applesauce. I think I have ice cream downstairs somewhere, but it's not applesauce.
Next time, Eclipse will be covering.
I'm going to be covering Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake for the MSX. Because I'm crazy and I'm going to try and cover as many Metal Gear games as I can get my hands on.
Well, I'll sure to be solid for that one.
I'd really prefer if you weren't, actually. You know what? I'm not going to take it as like a compliment if you are. I'd rather you not.
Anyways, that'll do it for this episode. And till next time when he does that, see ya.
See y'all then.